All right, the numbers are still building. We've got people coming on, but let's get this show on the road. You guys can hear me okay. Welcome, everybody, to tonight's webinar. My name is Aaron Biley. Most of you guys know me. I'll run through my story quickly for those that don't in a second. But tonight's webinar is just to kick off 2014. And I always sort of find by the end of January, February, March, it's just too late to get it going the right way. We want you to have the best year in whatever you're trying to achieve, whether it's health, relationships, weight loss, business, money, whatever it is, career. We want 2014 to be the best year on record for you, and I certainly know that it will be for me. And I'm going to get pretty personal into what I'm going to be doing this year and some of my goals and some of the things that I'm tweaking from last year. And hopefully, you can use those, the ones that apply to you, the ones that you like, and apply them into your 2014 to help you to achieve what you want to achieve. So what we're going to cover in a little over 60 minutes here is we're going to cover setting up your 2014 the right way with some powerful goal setting. Now, a lot of people do this correctly, and some of you have probably already done it, so well done. Hopefully you can learn a few things, even if you have to tweak some things. And for those that haven't done it, you're going to be able to learn how to do it the right way, so it's very powerful for you this year. Now, there's 4 reasons why people don't achieve their goals. We'll run through what they are so you can avoid them. We'll run through the 10 steps that I use to get where I am today and what I still use, and I attribute a lot of that to the book Think and Grow Rich and Matt Morris's coaching and a lot of different things out there. If you study success, you'll come across similar steps, but I like to talk about the 10 steps that you can apply to absolutely anything to become successful. And then I'm going to talk about the 7 things that I'm doing in 2014 to take my business to the next level. I've got some pretty huge planned for my business this year. 2013 was absolutely unbelievable, probably the best year on record, but my goal is to quadruple what I achieved in 2013 for 2014, and I want that for you as well. Are you pumped, ladies and gentlemen? Let's get straight into it. So, real quickly, my story, just for those that don't know me or haven't been familiar or haven't jumped onto my blog or seen a webinar before, grew up in the country, in the middle of nowhere, in country South Australia. An Aussie guy originally from South Australia, and I always put, that farm life, growing up on the farm, is to where I learnt my hard work, where that hard work, that work ethic was ingrained into me, by my parents. And we were made to work pretty hard, but we had a lot of fun on the farm as well. When I finished school, I went down to the city, down to Adelaide, to play Aussie rules football, where I played at state level for about 7 years. But the entrepreneurial spirit in me was just too strong, and I wasn't going to make my millions, bumming around with my mates, playing footy. And so I got into business. My first business was a gym, a fitness industry. And over the course of the next 10 years, I went on to buy and sell 3 different gyms in 2 different states. And also, I loved my real estate, so I acquired over $1 million worth of real estate along that journey as well. These days, I'm in the new age of business. So working from home, low overheads, great lifestyle, residual income. So, once 2008 hit, the GFC, I really noticed the turn in business. And, when I'm coaching young people now and they're entrepreneurial and they say, I want to get into business for myself, I say, that's fantastic. That is how 80% of the people made their wealth, was getting into business for themselves. However, before you do that, things have changed, and it's not going to go back to the way I was going to go. You need to adapt. You need to look at the new age of business, having a global business, working it from home, no risk, no overheads, high cash returns. And have a look at the people making all the money online, on the internet, working from home, network marketing, eBay, all these different sorts of franchises you can run from home now. And that's what I've got myself into. That was a deliberate decision in 2008 that I made, where I literally sat down at Google, after around about 6 or 7 years in the gym game, lost my passion for it. And, there's only so many years in someone's life where you can get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, get home at 9 o'clock at night, training people and having that sort of lifestyle. And whilst there was good money in the gym business, and especially if you can buy a business and build it up and sell it, I didn't want to be a 65-year-old personal trainer. I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. And I still had the dream, as I had as a kid, of sitting on the beach earning $1 million a year, whether I did something or not. And so once the line was crossed, I wanted to find out what the new age of business was all about, and so that's what's led me to where I am today. So as a result of all that, bought and sold 3 different gyms in 2 different states, bought $1 million property portfolio, been featured in the Australian Property Investor magazine 3 times, author of 3 books, founder of Deck Chair Millionaire, founder of my business Page One Marketing, co-founder of Jeunesse here in Australia and New Zealand, and part of the Millionaires Club. I do a lot of speaking now around Australia and also overseas. Have business in 41 countries with over 10,000 distributors just in the last 2 years. But the biggest achievement, and what I love the most, is I'm living life on my terms. So I work when I want to work. I travel when I want to travel. I take the day off if I want the day off. And it's a lot better than having to get up at 5 a.m. because you got that 6 o'clock appointment. If you don't turn up, you're not getting paid. It's better than being employed and trading time for money. So let's talk about goals. Let's talk about how to do your goal setting the right way, because I truly believe that whatever the mind can conceive, you can achieve. And that's an old saying that I've lived by, for a long time, since I started doing personal development at a young age. As we're a kid, we believe that 100%. I'm going to be a scientist. I'm going to be a fireman. I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going to be an Olympic runner. We honestly believe that with 110% belief in our bones when we're a kid that we can do that. What happens? We become a teenager, become an adult, and people tell us to become realistic, that you can't do that. Have some more realistic goals and, go to school, go to university, get a job, and do the best that you can. And we believe that, and our subconscious mind believes that, and we end up having a mediocre life at best. And so for everyone on this webinar tonight, if you're happy with mediocrity, you're on the wrong webinar, because that's not what we're talking about here tonight. We are talking about taking that to the next level of not just, as I always say to people, the people on these webinars, the people that I coach, the people that I talk to, and that they're generally not people that are down and out. They're generally not homeless people. They're generally not broke people. They are people that are going along okay. Maybe things can be better, but they have a job, they've got some credit cards, maybe they've got the pension, maybe they can have money off the government. But the great thing I love teaching people is, because they're on this webinar, they're in the live event, they want something more. So they don't want to just get by. They want to live life on their terms. And so let's get back to believing in whatever your vision is, whatever your dream life is, whatever it is that's crystal clear in your mind, how you see your life. You've got to believe it, because I believe that you can achieve that in a shorter period of time than you would think. So let's have a little bit of a look at what I've learned over the years with goal setting, through what's worked for me, what hasn't. And I'll put a big attribution down to doing this, because the 1 year that I didn't do this, my results were the most average over the last 6 years. Every single year that I've done this consistently, I've set it up at the start of the year, I've done it day to day, week to week, month to month, I've had the most focused year, the most results, and it just kind of happens. You just do it step by step, and you sit back at the end of the year and go, wow, I can't believe I achieved all that. It's everything that I set out to achieve at the start of the year, I've done and some. 1 year I'd achieved everything by the start of April, and I had to reset some goals. I made them a bit more lofty. But let's break this down. Firstly, you need to be crystal clear. You need to have a vision of what your ultimate lifestyle looks like, what your perfect day looks like, what your perfect life looks like. Because if it's not clear in your head, if it's a fog up there, it's going to be a mist out there in the real world. You need to know exactly what your daily lifestyle looks like. what the house is that you live in, whereabouts do you live, what sort of daily activities you do, how much money you're making, who are the people you're hanging out with. You need to have that crystal clear vision in your mind of what that looks like. If you don't, you need to go back to the drawing board. Go and meditate, go for a walk, go and sit down and write down the things that your perfect day is. Write down what you want to get out of it. For most people on this webinar, you would have thought of that. You know where you're heading. You just need the right vehicle, the right people, the right timing, the right mentoring to help you get there. Make sure that crystal clear vision is written down. Now it's become a goal, because if it's not written down, if it's not pinned up somewhere where you can see it every day, then it's really just a wish. It's really just a pipe dream. You want to make sure they're pinned up somewhere where you see them every day, but preferably if you can see them most of the day. So for me, they're pinned up in my home office, which I spend the majority of my day in most days. And so my subconscious mind is picking up my vision board and my 12-month goals, what do I need to do right now? And I'm looking over it all the time. I like to have a 12-month plan, a 3-year plan, and my 5-year journey, all written down on separate bits of paper, all pinned up. Now, that's up to you whether you want to do that or whether you just want to stick to a 12-monthly plan. But I would recommend at least having a 12-month goal and a life goal. So how do you want your ultimate life to look like? Have that written down, pinned up with pictures and stepping stones to get there. Whether you want to throw in a 2-year plan, a 3-year plan, 4-year plan, that's up to you. But that's what I've got: 12 months, 3 years, and 5-year goals. Now, you need to have stepping stones on how to achieve those. Okay, so include what are your most 10 important things you need to do right now, today, this week, this month, this year. What are those 10 most important things that you need to achieve? You need to have some timelines to achieve them. So it's no point just writing down, I want to be a millionaire. That's just not going to work for you. You need to break that down into, okay, what's my vehicle for becoming a millionaire? Okay, there's my vehicle. What are my step-by-step things that I need to do each and every hour? Every day, every week? Maybe I need to do it around my job or my other business. Maybe I need to chip away at it. But you need to be organized. You need to have stepping stones in order to get to your weekly, monthly, yearly, and 5-year goals. Okay, you need to be organized. You need to have that yearly planner. You need to have the diary. You need to have the alerts. I'm a big phone person, so most of my stuff's in my diary on my phone with an alarm to help me set it up. But I also have a diary and also have a yearly planner up on my wall. Plan your trips ahead. So if you're doing work interstate or overseas, plan it a month, 6 months, 12 months in advance. The amount of money that you save in booking flights and accommodation with that advance is huge, and it sets you up. It can also give your team or your colleagues, your business partners, the heads up on when you're going to be traveling there, so they can then prepare to make sure that they're productive when you're going to be in that area. Broadcast that public so they know in advance, and have your daily, weekly, and monthly consistent activities. So, for example, I know that every single Tuesday in 2014, that's my video day. So I wake up on Tuesdays, I'm straight into producing videos. So I'm making videos for my blog, I'm making videos for my team, I'm doing training videos, I'm doing videos that add value to my niche. Every single Tuesday, that's what I do without fail. I know that on Monday and Thursdays, that's days for doing my blog. So every single Monday and Thursdays, I'm writing a blog and sending that out to people to add value to my list so they can keep on learning and keep on helping them to achieve what they need to achieve. I know that Wednesdays will be my smile and dial day. We'll talk more about what that is later, but every single Wednesday, be doing that. And I know that Thursday nights will be my training webinar. So I've got something set in stone every single day. I know that every single week I've got that all put aside. It's in my diary, it's in my alarm, and every day I'm going to be doing, calls every single day. 5 new phone calls every single day without fail. So I've got some daily and some weekly and some monthly consistent activities that I'm going to be doing there. Also, too, for January through to March, I'm doing 2 workouts every single day, because one of my goals, which we'll talk about another time, but is to get the health back in shape, the fitness back in shape. I've been a bit slack in 2013, so 2 workouts a day every day up until March. So that's going to be tough, but got it done today, no problems. The other thing that you want to get going is a vision board. So cut out some visual pictures of how you see your life. So I'm just looking up here at mine now. I can see some good looking sports cars, some jet skis, a house on the river, a tennis court on that house. I can see all those sorts of fun lifestyle, fantastic houses, cars, boats, family, all the things that I want my subconscious to take in. And I'm looking at that every single day. And sometimes I just sit there and really take a good look at it for a couple of minutes. But other times, I'm just walking around the home office, I'm doing all sorts of things, but my subconscious is still picking up those images in order to deliver those exact things into my life. So the vision board become, quite important. It's not hard to do. It doesn't take too long. Stick it up there, and it's a lot of fun to get that one done actually as well. Have your perfect day clear in your head and written down as well. So if you had time didn't matter, money didn't matter, you could spend the day wherever you wanted to, with who you wanted to, doing whatever you wanted to do, what would that day look like? Have a bit of a think about it now. It's a lot of fun doing that as well. You kind of go into that moment and start to think that it can be real. Now, what if you could live that day every day, or every week, or every month? Or it was your perfect holiday location where you could spend 3 months of the year, get out of winter. Now, write that perfect day down. Write it down in an A4 bit of paper, a couple of different paragraphs. Doesn't have to be too long, but write out that perfect day. It's a lot of fun doing that activity, and pin that up as well. Now, here's where the magic happens. You want to read out loud twice a day as if you already have achieved these goals. Now, if you read them out once a day, that's great. But if you read them out twice a day, you'll have a lot more results. If you don't read them out at all, you'll start to really dwindle the results. You'll start to lose focus, and things will start getting away from you. So this reading them out loud every day is very, very important to keeping you on track, helping that subconscious deliver what you want to deliver in your life. Remember, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between the truth and a lie. It just hears your perfect life. For example, if you want to be $1 million earner, don't read out loud, I will be $1 million earner by 2016. Okay, or I will not be broke anymore in 2016. All your subconscious mind is hearing is, I'm not $1 million earner yet. Oh, I heard the word broke, and it'll keep you there. It'll keep you from being $1 million earner. It'll keep you broke. Your subconscious, you want to be saying something like, I am $1 million earner. I earn $100,000 a month easily and consistently. My house is located on, etc., etc., etc. Go into detail about where you live. My house is here. This is how my life looks like, as if you are living that right now. And your subconscious mind will say, hang on, I didn't know we're a $1 million earner. It'll ring up your conscious and say, hey, mate, have you been keeping secrets from me? I didn't think we're $1 million earner yet. And your conscience won't be able to help itself in the beginning. It'll tell your subconscious, nah, mate, he's just pretending. But over time, if your subconscious hears that enough times, it's a lot more powerful than your conscious mind. And it will start to believe, it will start to deliver those results to you, and all of a sudden, that will be reality for you. And your subconscious will tell your conscience, see, I told you so. I knew we're $1 million earner. If you want to live in Noosa like I do, and I've been doing this for years, I don't say I will be in Noosa by 2016. I say I love living in my Noosa house. I love living on the beach. I love going to bed at 10 o'clock at night and it's still 28 degrees. I can hear the waves crashing. I can see I can vision it, and I say it as if I'm already doing it. You know, if you're looking for the ultimate partner, don't say, I can't wait to find someone that's funny and reliable. Say, I love my partner. I love how we go for walks on the beach, and partner is gorgeous. She's supportive. She's funny. You know, say it as if you're already achieving that, and it will come into your life. If you're wanting to lose weight and look great, say, I look sexy. I love looking in the mirror. I love walking down the beach. I love the looks people give me when I walk down the street because I look so good. It feels so fantastic to be this healthy and this fit, and it will be. So that's really important part of the puzzle that I find that people really forget. If they are doing their goals, if they do have, you know, the vision of getting out of mediocrity, and they do have some goals and they write them down, that's about the biggest step I see people take, let alone pinning them up, let alone reading them out loud twice every day. But the really important part there, when you read them out loud, is to do it as if you've already achieved them. Now, I've taken the next step over the last few years of recording myself reading out those goals as if I've already achieved them. So I just got my iPhone, recorded myself doing that, then I play it back while I'm exercising, while I'm driving, while I'm sleeping, because that's when your subconscious mind is the most active, the most powerful, the most receptive. You know, when you're exercising, you probably know that you go into all. I've written the best speeches in my life when I've been for a run, delivered a standing ovation. Can't remember one word when I got back home to write them down, but fantastically delivered on the run. Or when I'm driving, you think about how many times you've driven from work to home and you can't even remember getting there, but you've had all these fantastic daydreams about your perfect life. And obviously when you're sleeping, your subconscious mind is dreaming and it's preparing, those sorts of things. Very powerful. So if it can hear that voice in your head, it might not consciously be picking it up. You might not be able to read them off by heart, but your subconscious mind is getting that drilled into it all of the time. Okay, very, very important. And get accountable. So the accountability side of it is really important. I'll set you some tasks at the end of this webinar to help you with that. But if you're not accountable to it, it's so easy to not write them down, not pin them up, not read them up. If you don't tell someone what your goals are, it's very easy just to not achieve them, and nobody knows about it, so you don't feel like a failure. I tell everybody my goals. People know exactly what I want to achieve and where I'm going, and if I don't achieve them, I feel a little bit silly. I feel a little bit accountable to them. Maybe I feel like I've failed a little bit. I don't want to feel like that. The option is not an option for me. And so I like to back myself against the wall, burn the boat, and tell everyone what my goals are. So whether you just get an accountability partner and share it with them, or whether you tell the world, put it up on Facebook, that'll keep you accountable. And it's almost like a peer pressure to do some good things. And then watch what happens when you apply all of this together. You will be laser target focused. Your subconscious will be that powerful, bringing about all the things that you want into your life without you even knowing it. You know, you'll turn left instead of turning right. You'll talk to that person on the bus instead of being shy, and you won't even know why you're doing it. Your subconscious is starting to take over. You make that phone call instead of being too scared to make that phone call. You go to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning without even thinking about it. These are your subconscious taking over to deliver you your perfect life. You will be productive instead of just being busy and procrastinating. You know, the universe will bring about all the good things that you want to achieve. You know, it'll keep you positive. It'll make you feel confident, bulletproof, and you'll have a deliberate plan that you can progress on each and every single day instead of just walking around in the dark and hoping and doing something every now and again, having one goal that you want to get to the next title in your business, or you want to get that next kilo, but then what after that? So all these things combine together, and just watch what happens. Let's go over that again really, really clearly. Crystal clear vision. Write them down. Pin them up. Have a 12-month, 3-year, and 5-year goals. Have some stepping stones to achieve them. Include timelines. Be organized. Have your daily, weekly, monthly, consistent activities. Get your vision board done and pin it up. Get your perfect day done and pin it up. Read them out loud twice a day as if you've already achieved them. Record yourself doing that. Play it back while you're exercising, driving, sleeping, or whenever. Get accountable, and let's watch what happens. So the 4 main reasons why people do not achieve their goals. Number 1, They make New Year's resolutions. They don't make goals. Okay, so basically, the reason that they don't achieve their goals, or goals in abbreviations, why I've got it there, their wishes, their pipe dream, is because they just don't do the process that we just outlined. Okay, they set a New Year's resolution and fail, on January the 3rd. They don't write their goals down, or they don't write their vision down. They don't write their New Year's resolution down, so they don't become goals. They're not really serious. Their why's not big enough. They have dreams and wishes, but, unless you know a genie of some sort, they're not going to come to fruition. All right. Number 2, if you do get as far as writing down those goals, okay, people don't necessarily have a clear plan in place to achieve them. Okay, they've got no stepping stones. So again, if you're saying, I want to be a millionaire by 2016 and live in Byron Bay, and you've pinned that up in big red texter on your wall, so what? That's not going to get you anywhere. That's a great start, and maybe your subconscious picks up like a little bit of a spark here and there, but eventually it just dies off and burns out. Okay, you need to have some stepping stones to make it real. Okay, you know what? I haven't got the income in order to do that. I'm going to need to go and find a second income. Or, what? I need to study more so that I can get up to the next spot in my career. Or, what? I actually can't live in Byron Bay because there's not enough, $1 million paying jobs. I'm going to need to find something that I can do from home anywhere in the world. So you need to have stepping stones in place to achieve those, or it's never going to happen. Number 3, they don't read them out loud every day. Now, what happens when you don't do that is you lose focus. Life gets in the way. Family, work, it all gets too hard. We get tired. They get back in the rut of life, and we start blaming others. Oh, I would have continued on with that, except, the kids got sick there in March, and then in April we went away for Easter, and all of a sudden it was June, it was cold. You can't blame anyone. Okay, if you succeed and get to the top and you achieve everything you want to achieve, take full responsibility. Give yourself a pat on the back. But if you don't, go and look in the mirror as well, because it all comes back to you. Okay, if it's going to be, it's up to me. Okay, everything rises and falls on yourself. Okay, it's not your team's fault. It's not your boss's fault. It's not your husband or your wife's fault. It's not your kid's fault. You can do whatever you need to do. Sometimes it's going to be harder. If you've got 10 kids, that's going to be harder than a professional couple with no kids. Okay, if you're starting off on zero income, that might be harder than people who've got $500,000 in the bank. Okay, if you're not working, maybe you've got more time than someone that is working. But it doesn't matter. Okay, it could be harder for you than someone else. Maybe there's some more hurdles there for you. That just means you need to jump higher. Maybe you need to jump more often, but you can still jump. Okay, you just need to be consistent. You need to know where you're going. There are no excuses. Make it a priority and make sacrifices along the way. If you need to find more time, get rid of the TV. Okay, there's a lot of different ways. I got rid of a lot of social events, a lot of TV, in order to find the time, to get out of traditional business and into a lifestyle business. That was a deliberate plan. I had to find ways to do that. But I never for 1 second thought about it being a non-option. I knew I was working 14, 15-hour days, but that still leaves hours in the day, doesn't it? It's not 24. So there's always a way that you can make it happen. Or number 4, there's no accountability. So we've done all the right things. We've got a vision, we've written them down, we've got stepping stones, we read them out loud, but it's hard work doing all these things by yourself, especially if you're hanging around with negative people that are trying to pull you back down and tell you that you can't do it. Okay, if somebody else hasn't got the goals or dreams, if someone else can't do it, they want to tell you that you can't do it. Don't listen to that. That's why you need to get around positive people, get around a mastermind group, get around a mentor, an accountability partner, because 0.1% of people are the only ones that can survive down there. And you have to be bloody tough to do it all by yourself. It's just too hard, by yourself. It's no fun. You need to make sure you've got that mastermind group, that mentor, to make it happen twice as fast, to throw ideas around, have a positive environment, have people to pick you up when you need them, have people to pull you up all the time. That's extremely important. So as long as you're not doing those 4 things, you're doing the other things, you are going to be Okay. So let's have you guys enjoying this so far? Let me get some feedback. Let me pop into this questions bay. Are you guys enjoying this, or have you all gone to sleep? We've got a lot of people on here. Wow, almost 200 people. Loving it, Lisa. Excellent, Angela. Great, Marin. Very much. Good. Writing notes like crazy. That's a great idea. Loving it. Woohoo. Great. All right, beautiful. So everyone's awake. Looks like you're enjoying it. Fantastic. All right, let's keep moving on. So I did this talk, I think in 2009. I did it again with my good buddy Merrin over in Sydney not long ago. And I've called it, 10 steps to having anything you want in life, because it's really a basic 10 by 10 steps, simple steps that you can apply to anything. And again, I haven't designed this. I didn't come up with this. This has been around since the dawn of time, literally since the dawn of time. And most of my stuff that I got was written by Napoleon Hill in the book Think and Grow Rich, what a lot of you have read. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend you not only read it, but keep it by your bedside table and read it every month, because the book always changes, because you always change. And if you apply these steps, you're going to grow. You're going to be a better person. You're going to be a bigger person. And then you'll go back and read the book, and it'll mean something completely different to you again. And you'll go on and do something else. And you'll read the book again, and all of a sudden, so you keep growing as a business person, as a personal person, in every aspect of your life. And the book is like your Bible of personal growth and success. Fantastic book. Also, the teachings of other successful people. I've had many mentors over the years, and a lot of them teach these same principles. Some of them put them into different words. Some of them vary it slightly. So these are my versions of 10 steps that I've used consistently, and I've also pinned these up, and I look at these and make sure I'm still doing them all the time. Am I being the right leader? Am I doing it consistently? And if one thing out of those 10, if I'm not doing them or I'm not happy doing them, then I'll correct that and make sure I stay on the right path. So let's get stuck into it. Firstly, I call this, having the millionaire mindset. So that's really all it comes down to, because if you have the millionaire mindset, the rest takes over. Everything else takes care of itself. Part of the millionaire mindset is learning all the things you need to know, getting that mastermind group, getting the right vehicle, and being absolutely bulletproof. So if you have the millionaire mindset, that everything else will take care of itself. Without that, you will fail at that first hurdle. Maybe you get to that first hurdle and it's 6 foot tall. How are you going to jump over that hurdle? Well, the answer is you won't. Not without the millionaire mindset. But if you've got your mindset right and you're continually growing on that each and every time, you'll get to that first hurdle and you'll go jump over it like leaps and bounds. It'll seem like it's only a foot off the ground. So firstly, you need to have a burning desire. And I won't spend too much time on this, because I know every single person on this webinar has a burning desire. And how do I know that? Because there's some great movies on tonight. But you're here listening to me on this webinar, so hoping to pick up even one thing that can help you in your business or your personal life in 2014. So I already know you have a burning desire. If you just had the desire, you'd probably go out and buy a lottery ticket, or maybe you'd go and watch one of the movies on TV tonight and hope that I record it and pretend to watch it later. Okay, that's desire. Everyone's got the desire to be, rich or healthy or, have the perfect lifestyle. But very few people are willing to do what it takes in order to get there. All right, and all these things are what you need to do in order to get there, along with, work rate. So it's not enough just to have desire. You need to have a burning desire, so strong. If your why doesn't make you cry, maybe you need to find a stronger one. So that's why I always say burning desire rather than just desire. We talked about this one, number 2, imagination and vision. So again, if you just can't foresee where you want to go, it makes it pretty hard to get there. It's like trying to drive, from Adelaide to Darwin. You haven't got a map. You're just taking off in the middle of the night, aiming north. It's going to be pretty hard to get there. You probably end up driving off the cliff into the water. You need to have that crystal clear vision of where you're going. And again, there's no right or wrong answer with that. That's whatever you're passionate about, however you see the world. You know, do you want to change the world? Do you absolutely anything? Do you want to go and spend all your time doing charity work? You know, changing the world overseas, changing it here locally in Australia. One of the easiest ways to do that is to have residual income coming in, because now you can go and spend your time on what you're passionate about. It's hard to go and do those things if you haven't got the finance. Maybe you've got a young family back in Australia. It's pretty hard to go and leave them and go and do charity work for 6 months of the year. You know, so there's stepping stones in order to do that. So have that imagination and dream big. Dream as if you're a kid. Okay, remember what you thought you could achieve. Start doing that again. You know, jump around like a kid. Have some fun doing it. Have that vision, and get into it. Okay, number 3, become an expert. Okay, this is a theoretical, technical one, but it's very important. And once I sort of understood this one, it became quite obvious and quite powerful to me. And because not really many people did it. And so with when I got into the gym game, I didn't just become an expert at training people. I became an expert at business. I became an expert at marketing. So I read every single book I could on business and marketing and people and personalities and all the different things that I knew that could help me become a better business owner. When I got into the direct selling, network marketing, internet marketing world, you know, I read every single book and went to every single seminar, sat on every single webinar on network marketing, internet marketing, and all the different aspects that go in with that. You know, in just the last week, while it's a bit more of a downtime early in the new year, I reckon I must have sat in on about 24 to 25 different webinars just over the last week. Everything from social media to SEO to setting up recorded webinars to coaching to high-end products to, you know, network marketing, personal development, everything you can think of. And I've applied those things, you know, in my business behind the scenes. And so it's a great time to do that in the downtime, you know, so make it a daily consistent. We talked about that before. Every Sunday you read a book. Every Sunday you jump on a webinar. Every Sunday you learn something new. Or between 10 p.m. and 12 p.m., kids are in bed, partner's in bed, there's no one left to call. You rang everyone in Perth. You know, go and learn something new. So set that time aside, whatever works for you. Sundays, late at night, you know, whenever it can work for you, to read something, learn something, become an expert in your field. Now, if you go and read 10 books on the area that you want to learn about, you will know more than 99% of the population on that topic. You can start to teach that to others. You can start to apply that, and the results will start coming in rapidly. Number 4, goal setting. Okay, we don't need to talk any more about that because we've covered that one. But, you know, we want to make sure that that one is part of it. Number 5 is obviously action. Okay, after this webinar, we're all pumped. We've got our vision. We go and write our perfect day out. We set our goals up. We pin them up. We take a photo. We get our accountability partner to check over them. And then tomorrow, we get up for work. We go to work. We come home. We get up for work. We go home. A week goes by. We forget all about it. Okay, we forgot to read our goals out. We forgot to put the stepping stones in place. We forgot to take action. Nothing will happen without action. I see people come to the events that we run every single week and every single month, and I love the people that come to those events. But in between that month and the next month of the events, they haven't done one single thing to action their business. They're professional seminar goers. You know, they're part of the party. And that's fantastic. We need those people. But again, there's no point asking the question on why my business is not growing. You know, why I'm not losing weight. I joined the gym. I just didn't go to the gym. You know, what's happening? I ate healthy 2 days last week. You know, I'm not sure why I'm not losing weight. You gotta put it into action, guys. And you gotta not just put it into action. Just like you can't just have desire. You gotta have burning desire. You gotta put it into massive action. Okay, action alone won't cut it for you. If you want to get results quickly, you've got to put it into massive action. Take massive action straight away tonight after this webinar and be consistent. I always draw this diagram because I think it's such a fantastic way for people when I'm coaching them, when I'm teaching them, to get a visualization of really what's desired, and it makes it quite simple, and it doesn't have to be any more complicated than this. You've got the desire. I don't know why I've got desire there. I should have burning desire, shouldn't I? But, you know, 10 out of 10 on desire will be burning desire for you. So everyone on this webinar is a 10 out of 10, right? All right. So the next thing we need down the bottom there, you need knowledge. right, or skill, however you want to word that. So part of that skill is by doing, or by getting that expert status up, by learning, by reading, by attending events, by doing, and as that knowledge and that skill creeps up from a 1 and a 2 and a 3 all the way up to 10, then your ability to achieve success, that ability to lose weight, goes right up. Because if you got the desire to lose weight, you got the burning desire to lose weight, but your knowledge on how to do that's a 1 out of 10, you're trying to do it all yourself, maybe you're pumping heavy weights every day at the gym, you're just going to put on weight, you're just going to put on muscle. Okay, you might burn a bit of fat, but you're not going to lose a lot of weight. And you're going home and eating all the wrong foods, you're not going to move much on the scales at all. But if you go and get yourself a personal trainer, if you go and read books on weight loss, if you read books on nutrition, read books on exercise, all of a sudden you're a 10 out of 10 on knowledge, you're going to lose weight a lot quicker. Okay, just like if you know everything about marketing and business and people and internet marketing, your skill level, your knowledge goes up to a 10, you already got the burning desire. The only other thing you need is to put that into action, and all of a sudden your ability to earn income goes through the roof. Now, I know plenty of people that have got 10 out of 10 on desire, but only a 1 or 2 on knowledge. Okay, that'll get you a certain distance. Okay, and the great thing about that is, you can't teach desire. You can't teach people how to have that burning desire. That's got to be inbuilt. But you can teach people knowledge and skill, and that can be entertained through the times while you're earning and learning. Okay, but if you also know people that are a 10 out of 10 on that knowledge too. They've read every motivational book. They can tell you every motivational quote. They tell you everything about the pay plan and marketing and all the mentors and all the big names, but they're only a 1 out of 10 on desire. And again, they don't put it into action, so they go nowhere. So that's really the formula. Burning desire, knowledge, skills, put it into action, and bingo, bango, away we go. Number 6 is leadership. And so this really lies and falls on you. In your business, if you've got a team that are following you, they'll always do what you do. They very rarely do what you say. And so I can do this webinar all day long, but if you came over to my house tomorrow and I didn't have my goals pinned up, and I didn't have a 12-month breakdown and my stepping stones and my vision board, you're going to go, hang on, if he's not doing it, it can't really work. He was just doing a webinar to, try and help people, to try and tell them what to do, but it mustn't really work. And then you won't do it either. Okay, I need to put my money where my mouth is and make sure I'm doing these things, and so do you. Because if you've got a team, you've got employees, if you're managing people, if you're in network marketing, if you've got staff, you need to lead from the front by doing. That's the number one thing with leadership. If you have to break it down into something, just do. So whatever you want your staff or your team to do, you do yourself. Okay, lead with integrity, teach people how to do the same thing, and you'll have a lot of fun doing that. Number 7 is attitude and responsibility. Okay, this is a big one, and this is really one way that I find that keeps people down all the time. They haven't got an open enough mind to adapt to these things or to risk having to go. Maybe they feel like they're going to look silly. The mindset of it's too hard, it costs too much, I don't have the time, what if I fail? It's not my fault. You want to have the attitude of, it's going to be hard, but it will be worth it. Nothing's too hard for me, I'm going to give it a go. That costs a fair bit of money, but to start your own business, you got to spend some money. Okay, I can't afford it. Have the attitude of, I will find a way, and there's always a way, always a way to get started. I'll make it a priority. You'll always do whatever your priorities are in life. So if they're family, you'll put that first. If it's health, you'll go to the gym twice a day. If it's shopping, you'll go shopping before you'll start your business. Okay, if you love eating, you'll eat before you go to the gym. Okay, you need to make whatever your goals are, whatever your stepping stones are every single day, a priority. And if you can't fit them in, make sacrifices to make it work. Again, there is no such thing as excuses. And that sometimes sounds a little bit harsh, because people say, hang on, you don't know my situation. It doesn't matter. That's the way I coach, and that's black and white of it. There are no excuses. You're either doing it or you're not doing it. You're either getting the results or you're not. Anything else in between is just excuses. It's reasons. That's it. Okay, don't worry about if you're going to fail. What happens if you succeed? You know, in my industry, in my business, we have such a low startup in our business. We have such low overheads. We have a 30-day money back guarantee on everything. So for people to not start because they're scared of failing, they've got absolutely nothing to worry about, because what if they do succeed? What if this is the business model for them? They go on to make an extra $1,000 a month, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month because they just gave it a shot. No risk. That's what I love about the new age of business that I'm in. But don't worry about if you're looking to lose weight and you fail. Get started, because maybe you just found that perfect class, that personal trainer. You know, every time, you know, you got the crush on your personal trainer, you love going, you go so often that you lose all this weight. You know, you got the gym that you love going to, you found that workout partner. What if you succeed? Again, responsibility. If it's to be, it's up to me. Don't blame anyone else for your success except for you. Take credit. Don't blame anyone else for failures except yourself. Okay? That's the sort of attitude you need to have to be a winner. You need to have, number 8, consistent persistence. Okay, you need to be so persistent that you're a borderline pest. You're a borderline pest to your subconscious. Okay, you need to be doing that consistently. All right, so think about your stepping stones. What are the things that you need to be doing to get you to achieve the results you need for that week? Okay, that month, and that 12-month goal. Excuse me. And you need to be consistent on that. And that is so important. There's no point doing 5 phone calls tomorrow and then not doing any new phone calls for the next 10 days. And then doing another 5 that day and not doing anything for the next 3 months. Okay, you need to be consistently persistent in your endeavor, in your pursuit, in whatever you're trying to achieve. Number 9, have a mastermind group. And again, this is one that gets overlooked and a lot of people put down to not being that important. And I did as well. You know, when I looked at that one, I thought, well, I can't really afford to have a mastermind group. But what was I doing? You know, I was finding a way not to do it because I didn't have it a priority, because I didn't think it was that important. When I realized how important it was, I found a way to do it. And so I joined that many different mastermind groups, you know, from free ones to paying $2,000 a month to paying a mentor $50,000 up front once. But you know what? The amount of energy that created, the things that I learned in such a short period of time made it worth it. Now, maybe I wouldn't pay that sort of money today for that level of knowledge, but there's always people that know more than you. There's always people that know more than me, and you want to get around those people. You always want to be around people with more knowledge, more income, more results. If someone's living how you want to be living, get around them. And if they've got a regular catch-up every week or every month, go to it, because that will fast-track your results like you wouldn't believe. The amount of times that I thought that I had something right, or I thought I had a great name for a website or a blog post, even the Deck Chair Millionaire, and then I put it out there to a mastermind group or a mentor, and they said things that I didn't even think of that just made perfect sense, and I changed it for the better. It's been many, many, many times. Sometimes you can't see things because you're too close to them, and you need to get out to that mastermind group, and they can help you with those results quicker. Sometimes you just need a third party. Sometimes you just need positive influence, positive encouragement, but you need to find that mastermind group for yourself. And that's what I love about my business and my team is, you know, it's a free mastermind group. We all help each other. You know, the more we know, the more we lift each other up, the more money we all make. It's a lot of fun. Number 10, you need to make a decision. You need to be a decisive decision maker on all different aspects. You need to make that decision that you're going to draw a line in the sand, and that's going to be the last year that you're going to live like that. You know, 2014 is going to be your best year on record. You need to draw a line in the sand and make sure that is absolute fact. You know, it's not fiction. You're not sitting there watching a movie with the webinar in the background. You're sitting there, you're focused, you're taking notes, you've drawn a line in the sand, and you are going to live life on your terms. You're not going to be dictated by your underactive thyroid. You're not going to be dictated by your ex-partner. You're not going to be dictated by your job, your boss, why things aren't working, your team, your upline, your downline. Anything is going to be dictated by you, because you're going to take full responsibility. You're making that decision that that's it. You're making that decision that you're going straight ahead, drawing the line in the sand. You're going to do it quickly. You're doing it successfully. We're going to do it together. And 2014 is going to be sensational. I made that decision to live life on my terms. Subconsciously a few times and consciously once. After reading the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, when I was about 20 years of age, I made the decision that I wasn't going to be an employee anymore. I was going to own my own business, because Robert Kiyosaki said that 80% of wealthy people mind their own business, own their own business. So I went and did that. And I was young, I was naive, but I was just ignorance on fire. I was just going for it. Made many mistakes, but it fast-tracked success. Start young and just go for it. You'll learn along the way. But if you can find a mastermind group and a mentor to help you with the correct vehicle, with the right timing, you are going to get results so much even more quicker than what I did. But in 2008, I made that decision consciously. I understood the marketplace. I understood the global economy. I understood business. I understood where the trends were going. And I understood a lot of people were making a lot of money online globally. Instead of me trading time for money, going into a job or going into my traditional business, which really owned me 15 hours a day, and training people, servicing a 10-kilometer radius, having staff, rent, overheads, risk, stress, driving in peak hour traffic. You don't need to do that anymore. It's almost like black and white TV, in my opinion. Get involved with the new age of business. Make that one of your decisions. Work from home or anywhere in the world. Have no staff, low overheads, never deal with peak hour traffic ever again. Don't worry about risk or stress. Have some high cash return with residual income. Have a global business, low investment and high leverage to get started with. And that was a deliberate decision that I made, and it took a few years to get there. Things take time. But this is why I wanted to set this webinar up for you, so you could get there quicker. I sat down and made that a conscious decision that I did not want to be a 65-year-old personal trainer. And it just kind of made perfect sense to me. It was kind of just like a light bulb's gone off and gone, well, if I don't do something different, if I don't alter my path, it's not going to change for me. Someone's not going to come along and just say, hey, I've got an opportunity for you. Someone's not going to come along and just wave a magic wand and say, now you're doing this, now you won the lotto. The chances of that aren't going to happen. And so you need to go and do daily activities to change that path if you're not happy with where that's leading to. Certainly I wanted to make sure I looked after my health. That's always been a priority for me. But I didn't want to still have to be working at age 65 if I didn't want to, that's for sure. And I sure didn't want to be down the bottom there with those 29%. But more importantly, I wanted to be living life on my term. And one of my biggest motivations has always been to do it as young as possible. And that may not be the same for you. But for me, I just felt that most people, as they got older, they were okay. They were on that mediocre lifespan. They had a bit of real estate, a bit of savings. They had a little bit of superannuation. But who wants that? I just felt like, what fun can I have with that as I'm older? I don't want to wait that long and have a short period of time with it and be careful how I spend that, because I'm going to run out of money if I'm not working anymore. I want to have some fun in my 20s, in my 30s, in my 40s. I want to have the residual income coming in. I want to have a lot of residual income coming in, and I want to do it quickly, and I want it to last long term so I can go off and have an absolute blast and not have to worry about money, not have to worry about the time frame, because I know that's going to come in each and every single day, every week, every month, so I can go and live life how I want to live it. Go and do the things I want to do. Have the lifestyle for my family that I want to have. Travel with friends and family. Put my kids in great schools. Have the lifestyle for my partner. All those different things that are important. Buy my mum a new kitchen. All those sorts of things. Put a pool out on the farm. Retire my dad. All these different things. Give my family the money that they want so they can get started in life. All the things that are important, it's hard to do without that. The more money you have, the more people you can help. And so that was a conscious decision that I made, but it wasn't just the money. The money became non-relevant to me. It wouldn't have mattered if chocolate Mars bars got me to live life on my term. I would have gone chasing chocolate Mars bars down the road. But it wasn't. It was residual income to give me that freedom and that independence on what I wanted to do. So that's what I went chasing. The money was irrelevant. I was already earning good money in the gym, but I didn't have the freedom. I didn't have the lifestyle. So whatever it is for you guys, better health, more money, more time, more freedom. No wrong or right answer, remember. Then you need to make sure you've got these stepping stones in place and you can achieve absolutely whatever you want to achieve. So for me, 2013 was absolutely awesome. Now, you've got to understand that I sold my gyms in late 2012, and I'd really lost the passion for them in around about 2007, 2008. And so think about something that you've wanted to achieve or a situation you've wanted to get out of for so long, and then finally you did it. How good would that feel? Or how good did that feel? And I can tell you right now, it felt absolutely incredible. So for 10 years, I was working long hours, early mornings, late nights. And, along the way as well, I did a lot of different entrepreneurial things. So, I did network marketing along the side, was quite successful in that. Real estate was quite successful in that, but never really had that lifestyle. I was always working long hours and, really still had to trade the time, for that decent income. So for 2013, I still worked hard and I achieved some great results, but I kind of had a semi-gap year in a way. I kind of was in third gear. I was still able to sell my businesses and go full-time in the new age of business and work from home. Pretty cruisy lifestyle, travel all around the world, holidays, work, helping people, talking. I launched my brand, the Deck Chair Millionaire. Became part of the Millionaires Club. Sold some property, bought some property, made a lot of money, and paid off some debts, which was fantastic. My car, mortgages. That feels pretty good when you haven't got that all tied up. So 2013 was awesome, but it was all while I was in pretty much third gear, and that still felt pretty good. It was a bit of a break. That's what residual income can do. You can do that and still have the income coming in to live life how you want to live it. But 2014, it's time to turbocharge that into absolute overdrive, and my goal is to quadruple my business. Are you guys on board with that? Who else wants to quadruple their business? Who wants to quadruple their results from last year? Who wants to make more money, get more results, be more happier in 2014 than in the last 4 years combined? That's what I'm talking about here. So for me, 2014, I've made that decision to tweak a few things, to go hard, to work those hours again, to quadruple my business. And the great thing about this is when I was in traditional business, I could quadruple my business. 1 year I did grow my business 300%, but I still had to go back next year. I still had to go back every day, every week, every month to trade that time for money. My money was more, but it wasn't residual. It wasn't lifestyle. The great thing about my business now, you quadruple that income, it's quadrupling the residual income. How good can life get on that? Now, if you're not sure what my business is, feel free to ask me after the webinar. I can fill you in. But I remember coming home from a flight from overseas last year, and I was watching Foxtel on a Virgin flight, and it had the, what was it called, $1 million listings, New York City, I think it was. And it had these alpha guys, these absolutely driven guys that were, selling these multi-million-dollar places in New York City, making a name for themselves, making a lot of money. And one of the guys, he was quoted as saying this. This was his day. This was his life. And he made a lot of money the year before. But the next year, he decided to work even harder, and he quadrupled his income from that real estate business. And he said he just put more hours in. So his day was getting up at 4:23 a.m., in the gym by 5, out by 6, at work by 7. He spent 70% of his day getting new business. That's a hint for you guys in business, network marketing specifically, 70% of your time. He was at dinner or a networking event every single night. He went back to work until midnight, and he got up and did it all again at 4:23 a.m. the next day. Now, good on you, Ryan. Well done. And I have no inclination of getting up at 4:23 a.m. whatsoever. I still do like my sleep, and I'm in the lifestyle business for lifestyle. I'm not sure where he's getting time to date here or have some relaxation or holidays. But I was inspired by that message, and what I took from that was, the harder you work, the more time you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. And I was working hard, but it was a very simple way for me to get better results, was to just put more hours in, and that was as simple as getting up earlier. So in 2013, I was pretty much getting up, when I stopped sleeping, and that ranged from 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, and I'd tend to work pretty late at night. But, because what are we doing? We are absolutely turbo charging our business in 2014. I love the message that Ryan put in, and it's so true, that nothing will ever beat work ethic in the results you get out of your business. So 7 things that I'm doing to take my business to the next level in 2014, just because I love sharing, because I love being accountable. I love being real with you guys, so that I'm a real person and I'm not just talking crap here. And feel free to use some of these things if you feel you can apply them into your business or your life that can improve your results. Steal them, use them. But this is mine just to share with you guys. So it's becoming an early rise now. More hours always equals more productivity, more results. So this morning, I was up at 7 o'clock this morning. I was emailing Nigeria, talking to people in the US, went to the gym, did my first workout for the day, got home, made a ton of phone calls, sat down, did this webinar, did some stuff online, went and did my second workout, and all of a sudden, it's still only 3 or 4 o'clock p.m. Whereas before, that would have been just about the end of my day from getting up late. So one tweak that I'm making, early rise, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, instead of 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. And that's one way that you can really get more productivity in your business, is just simply to have less sleep. Can you get up an hour earlier? Can you work an hour later? So certainly for me, that's going to be a big one. Number 2, to make sure that I'm working productive tasks every single day, every hour, every minute, every week. Now, what I mean by productive tasks, a lot of people think that they're being productive, but they're really just busy. Okay, you're busy running around doing all the things that aren't going to make you money. In my niche, in my industry, in my business, the network marketing industry is where I earn most of my money. The way that I make money is by enrolling people, okay, showing my team how to enroll people, and people buying product. That's the only way that I get paid. So if I can make more calls, do more meetings, and have more enrollments, okay, teach my team how to do the same things, they're the only things I'm getting paid on. I'm not getting paid to do this webinar. I'm not getting paid to do talks at live events. I'm not getting paid to write a blog post. They all add great value to my business. But if you had to really break it down, if you only had 4 hours a day to do something, you would make sure that you're doing productive tasks. Make more phone calls, do more meetings, enroll more people. It's as simple as that in the network marketing industry. So to make sure you're productive, not just busy. And that's, every single day, every week and month leading up to those stepping stones towards your goals. So for me, it's making sure I'm more productive. I'm doing more calls and more meetings. As I said to you before, minimum of 5 new phone calls a day. Now, I want to make a point here too, guys. Like, if you're, whether whatever aspect of life you're looking to be successful in, it doesn't mean you have to do 100 hours a week. It doesn't have to mean it's full time. Okay, you might be looking to lose weight, get a better career, start a business, be better in network marketing, internet marketing, better at your job, better in your relationship. That's fine. Maybe you're only spending 1 hour a day on that. That's totally cool. But make sure that 1 hour a day is 100% turbocharged. That's what I mean by this. It doesn't mean doing it full time. It just means doing it full on. Okay, so that 1 hour a day, you're being productive, doing the things that put money in your bank, okay, not the things that make you feel good. Okay, now think about this. Do only what you can do and outsource the rest. Okay, what do I mean by that? It means, what are the things that only you can do, that nobody else can do? So, for example, maybe you're the only one that can make those phone calls, because if you set that task to somebody else, they just wouldn't do it as well. Maybe you're the only one that can do the exercise to lose that weight, because if someone else tries to do it for you, it's just not going to work, is it? Maybe you're the only one that can, do something at your work that nobody else is going to be able to do as good as you. But anything else that somebody else can do just as good, anything else that somebody can do for 5 hours, $5 an hour, $10 an hour, $20 an hour, get them to do that so you have more time to do the things that are productive. Okay? When you're meeting people, I spoke to somebody today that drove 2 hours to go and meet with people that they probably could have done over the phone. So start to think about technology. Do we really have to meet? Do I really have to drive in peak hour traffic to go and meet with you to talk about this, drive back home, I've just lost half an hour in traffic, another hour at the meeting? Can we just do this over the phone? It's going to work the same way. Can you do a webinar? Can you do a Skype call? Can you use technology to do things you don't need to go out and do? Qualify your time. Okay, so if you're driving an hour to go and meet somebody that's not qualified, that could be a complete waste of your time. Value your time, qualify their time. So making sure that if people want to meet with you, talk with you, if people want to do meetings at your job, okay, maybe if you're going to go do some training, is it the right sort of training? Qualify your time to make sure that it's worth your while. So, for example, with this, do what you can do and outsource the rest. For example, how much do you value your time, per hour? Do you think you're worth $50 an hour? Do you make sure that you're $100 an hour, maybe $200 an hour? So, can somebody else do the PowerPoints for you? You can go to elance.com and get someone to do PowerPoints for you for $5 an hour. Okay, just like I do. They can do flyers for you. Do you really need to be spending your time on your computer designing flyers, designing your own marketing material, when you can outsource that for less than $5 an hour? You don't want to be creating your own websites. I don't. I just get other people to do it. You can get personal assistants on elance.com to pay your bills for you. You can even set them up with your partner's anniversary date, their birthday, and tell them to go and buy them a present on that day. You can outsource absolutely anything. Can you outsource your shopping to a school kid? Here's the money, here's the list, go and do the shopping, I'll give you $20. Okay, get someone else to do your financials, your books, your cleaning. Are you sitting there cleaning the house for hours and hours and hours? You can pay someone $20 an hour to do that. You gotta value your time. Gardening, outsource. I love my gardening, so I do my gardening myself. That's my therapy. I love it. But if you don't like doing it, outsource that. You've got to start thinking of yourself as $100 per hour valuable person. And anything that you can pay someone else less than $100 an hour to do, go and outsource that and pay them to do it. Now, the fine print on that one is, don't go and sit at the beach while they're doing that. The reason you're doing that is so you can spend your time doing $100 hour productive tasks. Okay, so while someone's cleaning your house, you're making phone calls. Okay, so while someone's doing the shopping for you, you're doing a meeting with someone. While someone's designing a flyer for you, you are doing an enrollment. And then all those things happen for you, and you've got a lot more time to spend on the things that are going to matter. You're going to get where you need to get quicker. Okay, the other thing that I'll be doing this year is a lot more leadership boot camps. Okay, so how to present. So really starting to take myself out of the equation. Again, what can I outsource to people, so I can do more presenting internationally, so other people can do presentations interstate. And then you need to start thinking about doing the same things as well. We had a fantastic leadership boot camp in Adelaide just before Christmas. I think it was the 20th of December, on how to do presentations. It was an absolutely fantastic day. We'll be running one in Melbourne in just a few weeks, and then launching them around Australia as well. So people that want to learn higher leadership levels, of presenting and taking their business to the next level on a personal scale, we'll be running more of those. So that's really important for me to do, because the more I can show people in my team how to be better at what they are, that's going to help them to get to their goals quicker, make more money quicker, which helps me achieve my goals quicker as well. So they are fantastic things. I really enjoy doing those, and that's going to help my business as well as my team. I'm launching a new website and other tools for my team this year as well. So there's a lot of time and confusion wasted on, sending documents through Dropbox and YouSendIt and all these different things where, we just want one place where, you can just go and grab whatever you need to grab. You can have your Facebook groups within the same place. You can do everything as a one-stop shop. As well as CDs, DVDs, flip charts, tear sheets, all these different things, tools for the team, which again, helps my business. I'll be concentrating a lot more on overseas markets as well. Whilst I'll keep building and meeting locally, China is such a huge part of what I do. And I look at other companies that are multi-billion-dollar companies in our niche. 40 to 60% of their income all comes from China. So it's hard to ignore those markets. And our emerging markets like Africa and South America and new emerging markets opening up are just absolutely huge. So again, spending time on Facebook and LinkedIn and internet marketing to meet these people, spending time over there doing presentations and launches, while the Australian business is still running hot. That's one area that I'm looking at to improve my business in 2014. We'll be starting Smile and Dial days with my team as well. And what they are, it's literally a catch up, 1 day a week, where we sit there and we smile and dial. There's no much more productivity that you can do than pick up the phone. And I don't care what niche you're in, what you're trying to achieve, one phone call will always solve a problem. It's funny, every time that I see employees, with a problem, with some politics, they're always straight on the email, putting it into a big long email about why they're not happy with this, why they're not happy with that. Whereas one phone call can fix it in 5 minutes. People take emails out of perspective. They'll go back 100 times on an email. You go, oh, you got to talk to that person. You've got to talk to that person. You've got to talk to that person. One phone call can solve everything. In the network marketing industry, I see a lot of people write 100-page text messages, Facebook messages, emails. You want to build that relationship with your downline and upline by making those phone calls. So phone calls are extremely powerful, especially when you're trying to recruit, sell, get new business, build a relationship with your boss, talk to your partner. Don't text her or him. Make the phone calls. So our Smile and Dial days are going to be literally sitting there and phoning for new business. Okay, so it won't be a day where you'll be able to come along and watch. It won't be a day where you'll be able to come along and talk. It won't be a day where you come along and get training. It's a day where you must pick up the phone and call, or don't come. And that's the most productive you can be, especially in our industry, especially in my business. And so that will force people to have some fun with it, to be courageous and to be productive in a common ground mastermind environment. So we'll be getting them going around every single state in Australia and overseas. And number 7 is to be more consistent. So a lot of times I was traveling last year, I would spend, a week or two not making, those new phone calls. Or I'd do one training webinar every month instead of every single week. Or I'd do, one talk, per month instead of every single day. And so it wasn't consistent enough for the results that I was after. And so that's one thing, that we're doing. Again, example, 5 phone calls every single day, not 5 phone calls one day, nothing for a week. So those are some of the things that I'm using to take my business to the next level. More hours, early rise, be more productive rather than busy, leadership boot camps, launching new tools, overseas markets, Smile and Dial in the group team environment, and being more consistent. Feel free to apply any of those into your life, into your work, into your business, if they apply to you. But that's how mine's looking. So to wrap it up, guys, we want to make sure that after tonight, you've written down those goals, you've pinned them up with your 12-month vision for 2014, your 3-year, your 5-year. You got your vision board up, you got your perfect day written up and pinned up. And I want you guys to take a picture of that in your house, in your office, wherever it may be, and I want you to send it through to me. Okay, now your biggest reward for doing that is being accountable to make sure that you actually do it, which will then affect your 2014 and your life. That's going to be your biggest reward for doing that. It's going to be your biggest reward for being accountable. Okay, but for everybody that does do that, for everyone that does send that picture through, okay, I'm also going to send you, because you kind of got to bribe people these days. So I'm going to bribe you. I'm going to bribe you and give you a book summary of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Good to Great, and The Tipping Point. Okay, 3 absolutely fantastic books to really complement what we've gone through here tonight in the personal development mindset niche, but they just take it to a whole new level, and they're things that you can read and apply straight away. Now, they're a summary of all those books, so they're easy to read, nice, short, sharp, and shiny. So as soon as I get that email from you with that photo of your vision board, your perfect day, and your 12-month, 3-year, and 5-year goals, as well as your stepping stones. So you might have something separate pinned up. If I'll give you my example, I'll look up here right now. I've got a blackboard on my wall, and I use the blackboard for things that I need to do right now. So that can easily be rubbed off and then replaced with something else I need to do right now. I've got all my top leaders that I work with and who I believe that can become top leaders up on my blackboard. And then to the left of that, I've got all my websites and my online business laid out. I've got my 5-year plan, my 3-year plan, and my 12-month 2014 goals. Below that, I've got my perfect day written out. And to the left of that, I've actually got the stepping stones on a whiteboard that I need in order to get to Noosa and live in Noosa within the next 16 months. And to the left of that, I've actually got my vision board with all those pictures pinned up. So that just gives you an example of what my wall looks like. But send through that picture and you will receive 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Good to Great, and The Tipping Point. But remember, your biggest prize will be that accountability to actually do it, and what this will mean to your year and to your life. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope even if you got one thing out of that you're not doing right now, if you got 100 things out of that, that's fantastic. Make sure you subscribe to deckchairmillionaire.com. Don't just rely on going there and getting information. Literally put your name and your email address in the top right hand corner so that you can get updates on when the next webinar is, when the next blog post has gone up, on the next tips for success, trends, real estate, network marketing, all the things that I put up there on that blog. It's a fantastic blog to keep up to date with things that can help you to be successful, especially in the home business, online, internet marketing, network marketing niche. Residual income. Like my page on Facebook at facebook.com/deckchairmillionaires. There's a lot of tips and stuff that go up on there as well. We have a lot of fun there. So guys, I want to open it up for some questions. If you've got any questions for me on what I'm doing with my business this year, how I'm applying anything, personal development, mindset, goals, anything that you want to ask, I'll open it up for questions now. If you haven't got any questions, thanks for attending. I look forward to seeing you on the next webinar. And thanks for taking the time out to listen to this. And 2014, guys, I know for me, it's not even an option for it to not be the best year on record. It's already done. It's a done deal. I just can't wait till December to see it all unfold. And so I hope that I can drag you guys along, pull you guys up. We can work together, help each other. And I hope this webinar has helped you to get that on the right track, starting straight away from tomorrow. The next day's too late. You want to make use of every single hour, every day, every week of this year. It's going to be a special year. I can just feel it all around the place with lots of different things that are going on. So thanks a lot, guys. I'll open it up for questions now. And we'll see you all again soon. Go and live life on your terms. It's the only way. It's the only option. All right, now I have to pan down a fair way to find some questions here. Wow, a lot of people on. you.